The Colosseum echoes beneath the stone. The eternal city. Adrian arrived in Rome on a soft spring afternoon. From the moment he stepped onto its stone streets, he felt time pressing in on all sides, not as a weight, but as a rhythm. Layers of history whispered through fountains, alleyways, churches, and ruins. But amid it all stood one figure, unmistakable and monumental. In the Colosseum, built nearly 2,000 years ago, this amphitheater was more than architecture. It was memory, carved into stone. Adrian walked slowly toward it, the golden sun lighting its arches like a half-opened eye. Stones that remember. He stood before the Colosseum's towering facade, marveled by its sheer size, nearly 50 meters tall, oval in shape, once holding up to 50,000 people. Built in 72 AD under Emperor Vespasian and completed by his son Titus, it was a political gesture as much as an architectural feat, a gift to the people after the cruelty of Nero. Adrian noticed that each level of arches used a different column order. Doric below, then Ionic and Corinthian above, a rising of elegance as one climbed toward the heavens. The structure had once been clad in marble. Statues stood in its niches. Its floors were soaked in spectacle, in triumph, and in silence. It is not the roar that survives, Adrian wrote, but the echo. Blood and bread. Inside, Adrian sat on one of the ancient steps. He imagined the crowds that once filled this space, cheering, laughing, gasping. Here gladiators had fought, beasts had charged, ships had even battled in mock naval displays. But this was not merely entertainment. It was imperial messaging, a show of Rome's might, a distraction from hardship, a ritual of order and dominance. Circenses. Bread and circuses was the phrase. Adrian thought, what did these walls remember? And what did they regret? He closed his eyes and wrote. Tivoli gave the people spectacle, but the soul hungered elsewhere. Beneath the arena. With a guide, Adrian descended beneath the arena floor. To the hypogeum, the underground maze where animals were kept, lifts operated, and gladiators waited in silence. It was colder here, the light dimmer, the energy dense. The scent of time was thick in the stone. In the narrow corridors he imagined the breath of lions, the silence of men facing death, the clatter of iron gates, and the moment before the crowd roared above. Here was the underside of glory, the hidden cost of entertainment. For every cheer, a silence. For every triumph, a waiting shadow. Twilight among the arches. At sunset, Adrian walked the outer ring of arches. The crowds had thinned. The golden light passed through the open stone ribs like music frozen in time. Each opening framed the city differently, a bell tower here, a tree-lined street there, a dome far away, as if the Colosseum were offering windows to the living world. He touched the rough stone of one column. It had seen fires, earthquakes, pillaging, repurposing as a quarry, and centuries of abandonment, yet it still stood. Not as a monument to violence, perhaps, but to endurance. Rome, Adrian wrote, is not what was built. It is what remains. Epilogue, the journey within. Back in his room not far from the Palatine Hill, Adrian spread out his now well-worn map. 7 wanderers, 7 places, 7 mirrors. Each had changed him. The Colosseum, last of all, taught him that even what is broken can still shape the world. That stories survive not because they are loud, but because someone listens. He packed his notebook carefully. At the top of the final page he wrote, and walked the circle of the world, and found it led to myself. Adrian's trip ends like this. If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.